learn some of the most important lessons that served your entire life? Josh Harris does. And he is going to take you back to his high school days with his speech entitled, Lessons Learned. Please welcome Toastmaster Josh Harris.
Fellow Toastmasters, members of the head table, welcome guests. Where did you learn some of the most important lessons of your life? It wasn't in a classroom, and yes, as a professor, I have to say that. For some might say the military, playing competitive sports, maybe it was a first job. For me, I look back to a unique experience I had in high school that combines what I thought was the coolest high school job, at least amongst my friends, and an amazing experience learning how to fly. Who had a high school job of flipping burgers or bagging groceries? Very honorable professions for those, certainly, even today, whether you're old or not. Well, I got this great internship at the Sebring Airport Authority in Sebring, Florida, the small town that I moved to after my parents divorced. Truth be told, that wasn't my first choice. See, we had this job shadowing program. I selected industrial engineer, which is what I thought my major, my profession was going to be as I was looking forward to college. Apparently, they didn't exist in Highlands County, Florida. My second choice, airport management. Well, we had a general aviation airport. And after spending a day with them, they apparently liked me, they hired me on. What made this job so cool was, besides getting to work on accounting tasks and filing credit card receipts and all the kind of things you might expect an intern to do, on Tuesdays and then on some weekends, I got to work the fuel desk at the Fixed Base Operator, or FBO. See, there's a lot of acronyms there. What made this job so cool, where I could completely one-up all my high school friends, was part of the job was being the radio operator. This was a non-towered airport. Pilots would call in and say, Sebring, radio check, and airport advisory. Good afternoon, 25 Alpha Bravo, winds are 27, traffic favoring 18. Give them a little quick introduction of where they should go, where they should land. Through that, I also got to meet some Civil Air Patrol pilots that I actually been a cadet member earlier. And that embarked on something that I'd really wanted to do somewhere in my life I didn't think was going to happen so early, learning how to fly. See, I learned a lot at this job. I learned a lot learning to fly. In fact, ironically, my first sales job was at that fuel desk. We sold fuel, primarily. Fun fact. Airplanes fly a lot better with it than without it. There was a little saying, it was almost a joke. The 3 most useless things in aviation: the airspace above you, the runway behind you, and fuel on the ramp. Yes, folks, I sold using fear. Fear that you might crash if you didn't have enough fuel that we could happily sell you. Aviation is full of all these little gambits, these things that we have to do. Checklist, all sorts of things. And I ask you, to this day, is there something that you do, an idiom, a maxim, something that you're following because you learned it potentially at bad moments? Now, let's get real here. Life is not always easy. Business is not always easy, correct? What do you do when things get rough? Run away. Might work once. What's the natural tendency when you get in trouble?
Panic.
Panic? Duck, cover. So how about slow down? Now, if you're in a car, I will say this. Who has the awareness that you have 2 pedals in a car? I hope if you drove here. A big steering wheel. Generically, if things are getting a little bit hairy on the road, your best bet is probably hitting the brake. Speed kills, right? You're probably taught this. Is there any other part of life you think that's true? This is what I learned in aviation. Airspace above me, runway behind me, fuel on the ramp. 3 most useless things. What do they all have in common? It's all stuff that you don't have that you wish you did. See, airplanes fly by going fast. I'm not going to get into the physics of it, but it's pretty simple. The faster you're going propels you up, the shape of the ring gets you higher, until you purposely really choose to get low and land, right? Very most dangerous part of any flight experience. Okay. I brought a little prop with me. And I could bring a big prop, the big spinny thing in front of it, but that just would be too big. This is the throttles from a flight simulator. I've been told this is modeled off of the Airbus, I believe, A320. They are right now set all the way back. You see, when you get in trouble, certainly on the road, your concept might be, I'm going to pull back, try to assess myself. Talk about situational awareness was our table topics today. I believe in flight, and I'd say in life, what you're most apt to do, the smartest thing you can do the minute you get in trouble, mash the throttle. Go full throttle. You need speed. You need energy. If you pull back, you lose all of that. You start losing airspeed. You start trading altitude for airspeed, and if you run out of that, you crash. If your business is in trouble, you need energy. Mash the throttle. You'll likely need more revenue. If you're unsure what to do, you pick up the phone, you call, you make action. Mash the throttle. When landing, one of the worst things you could do is do a poorly configured landing. And we have a little saying, you can always go around. Have you ever been on a flight when you think you're just about to land, you're all ready, you get that rental car or go home, and all of a sudden you feel yourself picking back up? Something wasn't right. Happens all the time. How do you do a go-around? That's right. First step, no matter what. Do that, pull your flask back, reconfigure, and start again. But it only happens if you have power. So folks, when you're in trouble, when you're feeling shaky, you think about what would a pilot do? What would they do if your life was literally on the line? That's right. You get back to the zenith height that you can reach at that moment. You mash that throttle, go full on. Fellow Toastmasters.